Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's Dom, aka KT2, and I'm coming back to you guys again for another video. Today, I have a very special interview with you. I have Specialist Campbell with us today, and she's going to talk about what it's like being a 91 Charlie. Thank you, Specialist Campbell, for coming on the channel.
Thank you for having me.
No problem, no problem. So to jump straight into it, we're going to go with our first question. How long have you currently been at the job you are at right now?
Right now, I got to my unit May 2018. So I've been there for a few months. Been in the Army for a little over a year.
Okay. Cool. Why did you pick that job? Why did you pick, out of all the other MOSs out there, you picked to be a 91 Charlie?
Well, to be honest, I didn't know what a 91 Charlie was. I just knew that I was tired of the jobs that I had previously, and I really wanted to ship fast. So that was a job that came up with a small bonus. And the counselor there said that that I will be working inside. It's not hard labor, even though it's in the 91 series. I picked cargo specialist before. He was like, no, you don't want to do that. So I let him convince me to switch over. And he said that it came with, it switches over well in the civilian area. So I thought I'd give it a try, even though I didn't know what it was at all.
Okay. What is a 91 Charlie? What is your job? Just like, what is the name of your job?
So the name of the job is a utilities equipment repairer.
Okay.
And people describe it as HVAC, so heating and cooling, even though in AIT you only learn about the cooling side. So apparently you're supposed to be able to fix refrigerator units like the Matrix, and there's some other equipment out there that you kind of learn to work on in AIT.
Okay. So let's the caveat off of that. What is your day-to-day life like in this job as a 91 Charlie? Can you walk me through your day-to-day life, like a day in the
Yeah.
life?
So unfortunately, as a 91 Charlie, you won't really ever get to do your job. So along with a lot of my other friends that I graduated with, some of us are in the arms room and some of us are being cross-trained as 91 Bravos, which is a mechanic. And our professors or our instructors, they let us know in AIT, they're like, even though they say there's a demand for this job and you guys get bonuses, there's no equipment really out there in the Army for you all to work on. So when you get to your unit, you're actually not going to do your job. Yes. Yeah,
Wow.
so I don't know any 91 Charlie that's actually working on equipment unless they're deployed. Now that's a different story because there are refrigerators out there that are, in the desert or wherever that are very important and they need to stay maintained. So that would be the only way that you would actually work on equipment.
Okay. Wow, that's
Yes.
new. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So this might be a bad question, but we're just gonna roll with it anyway. What are your general responsibilities then? If you don't really do your job, what do you say your general responsibilities are as a 91 Charlie at your unit?
So honestly, it's to fill in where the unit needs you. So my unit has always stuck a 91 Charlie in the arms room. That's just what they do when they get a 91 Charlie. Before I even got there, they knew where I was going. The day I met my first sergeant, he's like, "Hey, nice to meet you. Here's your area. Here's what you'll be doing." And got interviewed by our commander, and just to make sure I'm capable and good enough to be in there. And I've been in there ever since. So yeah, there's really I have two options. I can either be in the arms room or I can help the mechanics out in the motor pool. So I actually like the arms room. So I'm
Okay.
there.
Okay. This is an off-the-wall question. Don't have to answer it if you don't want to. Would you say your job is easy or would you say it's hard?
I would say that it's easy, but not the 91 Charlie part. To be honest, I would not recommend this MOS only because one, you'll never do your job. So how can you get good at your job? Two,
Wow.
me picking the enlisted side, it's very hard to rank up. It's 798 promotion points, and it's been like that for over 10 years. So the
Wow.
points don't drop. I didn't know any of this before picking this MOS, but I definitely would not recommend it if you're trying to make sergeant fast, or even I should be, I had goals and things like, oh, I should be a sergeant at this time, but it's going to be very difficult to it's maxed out. So it's going to be very difficult to get those points.
Okay. Okay. Wow. Okay. What would you say are the benefits of your job right now? What would you say the benefits of what you do right now, regardless of if you're doing your job or not? What do you think the benefits are?
So I'll start with the benefits of being a 91 Charlie is if you have any interest at all in HVAC work, these certifications in the civilian world are very expensive, but you get them for free by being in the Army. They teach you a lot of different things that have to do with the HVAC world, but the certifications are the most important part. People will hire you just based off the certifications that you have. So
Mm,
even without having the experience in the civilian world, because you're going to work on different equipment, but it's highly sought after. So that's a really big plus if you are really interested in that world. If you're already going to do that anyway, or I've met people, I had a friend that he was already doing this type of work. So that's why he joined as a 91 Charlie, because he was already doing this type of work under his father. So he was like, in the future, I want my own business. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to get all the certifications for free, keep up with them, and go from there. So that's a really big plus for people who might be interested in this area.
okay. Okay. Um, so let's jump back a little bit. What do you like most and what do you like least about your job right now?
What I like most is the fact that I did get to learn a totally different area, being in the arms room, being an armorer. I'm not a weapons person at all. So to get to inventory the weapons, to learn what they are, what type of ammo, all different kind of things really challenged me. And it's working out well for me. The least part I like, of course, being a 91 Charlie, the whole 798 promotion points, that's the thing that I like the least. As far as being an armorer, there's really nothing that stands out that I really dislike. It's a lot of work. It depends on the person that came before you. If
Okay.
their arms room was not organized and messed up, then you're going to have a lot of work to do. But as long as you're responsible and you're not lazy, then you'll be fine.
Okay.
If someone
Okay.
sticks you in that area, just in case.
Okay. Um, all right. Next question. Is there anything specific about your job? Now, you don't have to tell me where you're stationed at or where your base is or anything, your state, your country, your world. Is there anything specific about your job that's exclusive to your base?
That is a very good question. I don't believe so. I don't mind
Okay.
saying I'm at Fort Lewis, Washington, so that's Washington State. And our base isn't the base itself is not small, but my unit is a military intelligence unit. So that's another reason why I would never do my job there, because everyone else is on the computers and working and doing different things like that. So it's a very unique unit. I will say that I don't understand all the ins and out yet, because I'm definitely, a civilian coming into the Army world, but it's unique, but I can't really explain how. I just kind of get bits and pieces from people.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Since you're new to the Army, I'm gonna take a random guess and say you have not been deployed.
I have not.
Okay. Um, what would you like to change? If there's anything you could change within your job, I'm pretty sure there's stuff you'd want to change. But what's the number one thing you would like to change within your job if you could?
If I could, I would change the fact that 91 Charlies basically never do their job.
Mm,
I would say there's 91 Delta, and 91 Bravos. There was talk about just combining all the 91 series when I was in AIT. And I think that'd be a very good idea. I mean, the 91 Bravos could stay in the 91 Deltas, but honestly, I wouldn't. I would get rid of the title 91 Charlie and either make them Bravos or Deltas, so it's not so hard for these people to rank up and never do their job.
okay. Okay. I know we talked a little bit earlier about this switching over to the civilian world with the certifications and such. But just to reiterate it, how does this position transfer over to the civilian world?
So if you like HVAC, you like working with your hands, you like heating, cooling, you want to work with refrigerators or units. A lot of people end up starting their own company eventually, and they make six figures. It's really good money in the HVAC world. Unfortunately for me, I have no interest whatsoever in starting my own business in that area, but it's highly recommended for someone who already has that type of knowledge or is even just interested. You don't have to have any knowledge at all coming from a civilian into the Army. Trust me, I knew nothing about that. I got through AIT just fine. It's about 10 weeks of training. So the training's not long at all. So that's good, but it transfers perfectly. It's just like civilian, even though you don't have, I don't even know what companies are out there, but even though you might not have worked for them or their exact machinery, those certifications is what's going to get you in the door. I've heard that from everyone, from my instructors, from people who are, they actually were 91 Charlies, they got certifications and now they have their own business. So if you are interested in that, it transfers perfectly into the civilian world.
Okay. Okay. Um, Moving into the last couple questions of the interview. What are your plans after your contract? Do you plan on staying in? And like, how long is your contract? Like, I know you said you've been at your base for about 4 months. You've been in for about a year. How much you have left in your contract? What are your plans after? Do you plan on staying in?
So I signed a 3-year, 28-week contract, so it
Okay.
wasn't very long. But I have about 2 years left, 2 years and a few months left of that contract. Because with us, the training, the 28 weeks was the training. So they actually don't start your time, for me at least, until I got to my unit. So I noticed my time started like in April or something like that, even though I got my unit in May. So so I have about 2 years left. And right now, I know active duty really isn't for me. So I'm considering doing reserves or National Guard when my contract is up. And
Okay.
I plan on using my GI Bill to get my master's degree. I have my bachelor's right now, but part of the reason why I joined the Army is because I did not want to pay for my master's. I paid for my bachelor's and was in debt over that, and I just didn't want more debt. So I plan on either being a counselor or getting my MSW, Master's in Social Work, when I get out.
Finesse. Okay. With that master's in social work, do you plan on coming back in the Army, or are you going to work in the civilian world?
So the funny part, they actually have a program in the Army where you can go from enlisted to officer. But unfortunately for me, my GPA in college was 2 points lower than the requirements, and they will not budge on that. So I am considering becoming a social worker for the Army and just having that. Obviously, I'd be on the officer side as well, but just having that being my job, I would actually love to do that. So I'm looking into that.
Okay. Cool. 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 And very, very, very last question. Any words of wisdom for individuals, any civilians, maybe any current enlisted people looking to transfer over? So, any words of wisdom for anybody looking to get into this very special, exclusive MOS 91 Charlie?
Yes. So I jokingly put on your Instagram, no, don't do it. But I was just kidding. But I do want people to know this information. And I'm really glad that you put that out there because there's no information on being a 91 Charlie. I actually considered starting a YouTube just to kind of walk people through it. So it's really good that you're doing this interview. But I want people to know that it is going to be hard to rank up. And if it just depends on what's important to you, especially, being on the enlisted side. I'm sure people want to make sergeant and go up in the ranks. So it is going to be very difficult. It is true. Unless you're deployed, you will not be doing your job. Be prepared to be a 91 Bravo or a 91 Delta or be in the clerk's office, especially if you're a female. They love putting us in the office for some reason. I have a lot of friends that are in the clerk's office. They love it though, in the motor pool. So if you are the type of person that wants to come in and really learn a skill, a trade, and practice in that, 91 Charlie is not for you because you will just be in a random place, a random detail. And imagine becoming an E5 and moving to another unit, and they're expecting you to know mechanic things. And you've been, like me, you've been in the arms room for 3 years. So you don't, if that doesn't sound like something that's for you, if you want to learn something very specific and get good at that and progress, which is something I like to do, then I would not choose 91 Charlie. I will choose something close to it because being a mechanic, it transfers to the civilian world very well as too. So it's close enough. So 91 Charlie is just kind of one of those random things. It's kind of just hanging in the middle. So you might as well just go with something concrete.
Okay. Okay. Well, Specialist Campbell, thank you for coming on the Thunder Channel, and we definitely appreciate it. And for everybody out there, if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, you guys can hit me up on Instagram at KIDTHNDR2 or Snapchat at KLOP95. Or if Specialist Campbell lets me, maybe if she lets me, I will put her IG handle in the description. No pressure to her, but if she lets me, I will drop it down there. And like I always like to say at the end of all my videos, don't live the same year, 75, 80, 85, 90 times, then try to call it life. My name is Dom. Take it easy. Peace.